All right, good. Welcome to today's live stream. I am NOVAtazz. You're watching NOVAtazz Customs, and today is a special. All right, good. Welcome. There we go. Today is a special St. Patty's Day broadcast. I do have a couple friends that will be joining me here shortly, and we have a couple of things to celebrate this week. So I'd like to welcome American Bumper to Bumper. Good morning, good night. What the hell? Anyway, so I would like to welcome you and Spooky. Would like to welcome you to the chat, and let's get this party started. So, news for me this week. Released a bunch of new shirts a couple weeks ago, and actually just started getting them. My customers finally started getting them in this week, and I'll tell you what, they look big badass. One of my friends has a 4th Gen Nova, and he has it painted similar to the Dale Earnhardt Nova that he ran in the Busch series, black with the number 8 on the side with good wrench. And the one shirt that I have is based off of that car. So he got his shirt this week, and he posted a picture to me with him in front of the car with the shirt on. And I posted that up on my Instagram. And I see one of the men of the, well, not our, men of the week has just joined us. Jason, welcome aboard.
I was hoping you weren't going to say man of the hour, because that just sounds wrong.
No, it does. It's just not this hour. You freaking just killed it this last week.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting goal, and we're still climbing a little bit and still having some success. I get 1 or 2 subscribers a day that are saying they're coming from Nick still. So yeah, pretty happy with that.
Oh, I would be too, man. That was I mean, and just the experience of being able to go to Nick's garage, in itself was one thing, and then the bonus is getting all of these subs on top of it, and it looks like you got a really nice set of heads out of it as well, which is what you originally went up there.
That's exactly what I went out for. I mean, like I said in my video, I could have had it shipped for about $150, but where's the fun in that?
Well, I mean, think about that. $150, you paying $150 and just getting a set of heads, or you driving up to Nick's garage, getting an incredible experience at Nick's garage, and oh my God, her freaking Chevelle motor is making some freaking power. And then on top of that, you get the bonus of the shout out and being in his videos, plus you being able to reference him in your own videos, and the boost that gave your channel.
Yeah, and that was kind of the whole point, and that's one of the big things that I try and strive to a lot of the smaller YouTubers that watch our live stream is, if you want your channel to grow, then you've got to be putting yourself out there. You got to be joining live feeds. You got to be a part of the action that's going on. You got to be putting yourself out there, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it happens to be. You've got to be out there and making sure that everybody knows who you are and what you're all about.
I mean, yeah, agreed. Turn down the volume on my Stagio land. I mean, at this point right now with my financial situation being not much of one at all, I do what I can do. Like, I mean, I do these live streams every week right now because I can't get out to the shop. Not that I wouldn't do them anyway, because they're a great way for all of us to get out, hang out, and chit chat, and bounce ideas off each other and build our own channels together. Plus, who doesn't like to hang out on a weekend and have some drinks and shoot some chat and and basically go over what happened during the week. We have Steve in the chat, Hammer Down Motorsports, and he asked me if this was a Street Speed 717 shirt. Actually, it's an Insane Designs shirt. It is for the Street Speed 717's Corvette giveaway. They are giving away a what is it? Is it 2019 or no 2018 Corvette Stingray?
Yeah, think it was a
And yeah, I am
C7.
trying to win them because I mean, who wouldn't want a Corvette on their channel? I mean, this no brainer. Even if I don't win, it's still a cool shirt.
Hey Steve, how you doing? He says hi in the chat, and yeah, so it's the same thing with the different YouTubers that are out there. You know, when Dirty Max Jack had his giveaway for the Duramax truck, I bought a T-shirt as well to get myself entered into that. I don't know if you watched Mr. Beast at all, but he was having a big giveaway as well, so I bought a T-shirt from my son for him because I know he follows Mr. Beast. And you know, different channels that offer the T-shirt for a giveaway entry it's a really good idea, and I think that is something that I may do down the road too.
Right, it's a win-win situation as long as whatever the merchandise is something that you want anyway. You know, you're getting something you want, and you could possibly get something you really want. You know, so for the minimal investment of the cost of the T-shirt, I have a couple of entries thrown into a Corvette giveaway. Now my chance of winning is almost next to nothing because if you think about it, basically the minimum purchase is basically a T-shirt. So there's how many people out there that have bought something a lot more or bought a lot more. I mean, because even if you spend $1,000 on their merchandise, $1,000 for a $60,000 to $70,000 vehicle is nothing.
Small I just don't price have $1,000 to pay.
Exactly. I just don't have $1,000 to throw at merch. So otherwise, that would be a pretty decent gamble, you know. But and Hammer Down, yeah, I definitely need one of your shirts. I've been needing one of your shirts since like last year. Just haven't gotten one.
So see Firebird Go. I haven't seen him around in the past either.
Who?
See Firebird Go.
Oh, he's got a really if you follow him on Instagram, he's got a really, really wicked I think it's a Firebird formula. But it's like a Hot Wheels edition. It's all orange with flames down the side stuff, white interior, and it's definitely a throwback because it's a paint scheme that's been on the car for quite a while. He bought it that way. So I mean, it's pretty.
I'm just checking out his channel.
I like it.
Yeah,
huh?
Nice looking car. I'm just checking out his channel. It's a nice looking car.
Yeah, I think he posts more to Instagram than he posts to YouTube. He's just started posting to YouTube quite a bit more. He actually just did the body bushings like I did on my car, and he ran into a similar problem that I did with the cage nut up in the body spinning when you go break them free. So he did actually a pretty good job on his. So he's a lot further along than mine. This is back on it again. Me, I just haven't been up to the shop. Hopefully I get up there this Wednesday, depending on the weather. And yes, please, everybody hit the thumbs up. We got up to 14 likes last time before the dislike crew got on the bandwagon and kicked their side up to 5. But we all know who that dislike crew is. It's just, you know, it is what it is. We got visited by their trolls what, like 2 weeks ago. But so yeah, we got you're celebrating. We talked about the fact that you went up to Nick's garage last week, and then we get the positive effects of that experience happening this week with you getting up to let's see, what does it say you are up to right now?
1,027.
1,020 something. Yep. I have actually I have a counter right here. So and I've been following you and Grant. 1,027, which is a pretty good damn number. You're 27 above the hole. So and Grant's up to 944. So
yeah, and Grant
has.
Yeah, he's pretty close to his watch time hours too. He's only about 20 hours away. So
if you are not subscribed to Grant, it's straight STR8, the number 8, 6 spelled out SIX, and then fan, all one word. Please go out there and subscribe to him. He could definitely use your guys' help to get above that $1,000 benchmark. And obviously, Jason can always use your help. More people we have watching and subscribing, the better it is for everyone. I'm going to go back here and take a look through the chat because I haven't been paying attention to it here for a little bit. Yep, 2018 Grand Sport. Definitely need one of Hammer Down's t-shirts. I do like it. I wish I had that kitty cat one that he had with the overalls. That was like my favorite. I tried to win that shirt like twice. He gave that away to give away, and I missed it both times. I don't like when I get a dislike either, trust me. But you know what? It's still an interaction either way. It's just kind of a hit to the ego.
Kip says he hit 300 subscribers today. That's pretty good.
Oh, well, there you go.
Congratulations.
There's another one. Is it who else am I following that just hit a pretty decent? Well, we know Matt MPG, which he should be joining in the second hour, which you probably won't be around for, but he finally got above 200 subs. Now, this is a character that definitely should have at least 1,000 subs. Jason, I'm not sure if you've seen his videos and the edits that he does when he goes to the car shows and stuff. Have you had a chance to check out his channel?
You said Matt MPG?
Yep.
Yeah, I watched a few of his videos there just recently because I just got onto his channel. And he's the same guy that does the cooking. Didn't he do a cooking with some his last episode? That was pretty good too. Made me want to go make some chicken.
He's good all the way around. I mean, he started his channel centered around tasting beer, going to different local breweries and different things like that. And but his edits for when he goes to the car shows and stuff, if you haven't seen those ones yet, oh my God, they're better than some of the big YouTubers. I mean, they are just downright like cinematic. I mean, much better than I can do.
Well, I was just telling my wife yesterday, we were on our way to the city, and I had told her, I said, coming up for this year with these car shows, I want to really kind of nail down my my car show product, because usually what I do is I go and I just try and get every vehicle kind of swarmed into one. But that's pretty difficult sometimes to do that, because you go to a show that's got 1,800 cars, you're not going to get them all. So I think the idea is if you can go and you can spend a couple of hours and pick 2 or 3 or 4 that you really, really like, and see if you can get the owner in for an interview and get some really in-depth shots. And then you could create yourself, you know, a video for every car if you wanted to. And it's all content.
All right, I'm trying to get Chris in here, One Low Blazer, but he's having that same issue he has every week because he joins from his phone.
Yeah,
and when you join from your phone, it doesn't like the link that I post. But I always forget what his email is. So I always have to get his email again. And I'm not sure if the birthday boy is in here yet, but we do have a birthday boy today. He's one of the people that have been in my live stream. If you know Nikolai, today is his birthday, but I don't even see him in the chat yet. Wanted to wish him a happy birthday as well. Oh, there it goes. You want to if you want to pick a topic here, Jason, and carry the stream here for a second while you take care of this, because I don't have my buddy Jonathan in right now.
Yeah, no problem at all. I guess one of the things that we could probably talk about is taking a look at who has gone and done a collaboration with another YouTuber and had success with it. I know there's a couple of guys in here, and I know Hammer Down, of course, with 10,000 subscribers in his channel, he's done them with Guitar Mageddon and a bunch of other guys. So he's always been jumping back and forth with some of those guys as well. But has anybody else in the chat ever done a collaboration with another YouTuber that helps both of you grow? Most of you guys know that I do a live stream on Thursday evenings with Grant Tommy, who is Straight Six fan. We've already talked about that. So that's something that I do on a weekly basis. And Rust Belt Mechanic is going to be subbing in for Grant this week on my channel as a co-host. So it's another opportunity for a bigger YouTuber to come into the stream and hopefully bring some of his audience with him and jump in there too.
I've done a few, but not like a super lot of them. I did one with Alan who's now Revenge of the Apocalypse, but at that time he was AK Camaro 2017. I'm not sure if that necessarily helped either of us out because we're both basically about the same. Mainly, I realized that for you to be, you need to collab with somebody that's got just a little bit different channel than yours, but also relatable. And you need to be somebody that's either a little bit above where you're at in subscribers and views, a little bit bigger pool. Because if you end up just collabing with somebody that's in the same pool of subscribers you already have, you're not going to do much, you know, because a lot of your subscribers are already watching him and a lot of his subscribers are already watching you or her. So it doesn't really help much in that aspect. But like I said, you definitely need to collab with somebody that has a different enough market than yours that you're reaching new people. Because that's kind of where I'm at now. I mean, other than doing these live streams here and getting my channel out there that way, and all of your guys' channels as well, kind of maxed out my personal reach. So I guess that would be considered your organic reach. But basically, the reach that I have without somebody else shouting me out or sharing my content, I've basically saturated my own market, I guess is what I would consider that. I'm not sure if you guys have experienced the same thing. I mean, Chris, you're just starting out, so yeah, you definitely have a whole source of markets open, especially being in like this live stream as well. We get a couple hundred views every week, and hopefully we'll continue to grow as well. Speaking of, if you guys are in the chat and you haven't yet, please share a link to this video to your friends and see if we can get some more people in here. I'm not sure how many people we have in right now at this moment.
13, as it says on I'm looking at on my other screen.
That seems like a pretty good number. I'm not sure how many. I mean, I'm kind of stuck in this. I got 3 screens open right now. It doesn't tell me much as far as, you know, who's where and whatnot. Actually, I forgot. That's why I used to open it up in 2 different browsers so I could actually change the view. But like my setup right now, I have, you know, I have the Hangouts up here, and then I have what little I can see of my dashboard with for the YouTube Live over here, and then I have my chat screen over here. So I can only see so much. Yeah, I mean, that's basically. Go ahead.
I have my personal phone I'm talking on, and then I have my iPhone I'm watching on.
I mean, that's what you basically have to do when you're using phones. I mean, right now I'm not. God damn, I'm making a mess. You know, I'm not using my personal phone at all because I'm doing it all on a computer, but I miss having my old computer set up. I used to run 3 screens.
Yeah.
So I used to run, you know, the main feed on one screen, and you run the chat and everything else on a completely different screen. And then the other screen, I can literally watch the live stream as it's going on in that one all on its own. Or I could have that screen as like a kind of like a staging board. So like if I wanted to add something to the whatever. But when you're doing everything on one screen, it's really hard to manage the whole stream. I don't do a lot of fancy stuff online because I don't have all those screens.
Yeah.
Thank you guys who are sending it to your friends. You said the best way to do it is literally just share it to your Facebook or other social media page. It's the best way to do it. My friend Pinky's in the chat, and she just actually picked up she just got her hoodie not long ago. She got one of my face-off hoodies, and she's absolutely in love with it. She sent me a picture of it. Let's see, we got E for Garage. Glad to have you back. I was trying to get a buddy in here with who was I trying to get in?
Was it that new guy?
With some seed trucks in. Go ahead.
No, I didn't know if that new guy you added to the chat was jumping on or not.
He's having some personal issues today. He may or may not be in the chat tonight. We'll see. But like I said, family always comes first. So
absolutely,
as far as I'm concerned, that is perfectly reasonable.
Yep.
See, I know we got. Well, you're obviously here. I just came across your screen, your name in the chat. We got Steve Hammerdown Motorsports in here. We got Classic Ride Society, always a favorite to have in here. Old Car Auto Guy, well, that's Jason. We got America Bumper to Bumper, which I do believe is Kip, and he just hit above 200 subs. E for Garage. Trying to see what other names we got. C Firebird. See any other new names in here? I don't see any other new ones. I was hoping Mr. Mach 1 would be in here this night because he was actually unwittingly in my Instagram post the other day. If anybody saw that post I did with the where I was drinking the Guinness the other night, he was actually on the TV. I was watching his YouTube at the moment.
Well, Sean, I've got to get out of here. Something's come up.
That's perfectly fine.
I'll try and make it next week and stay a little longer.
Yep. Well, congrats on the 1,000 subs, and hope you keep growing.
I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you all around.
Have a good one.
It's just me and you, Chris. Let's see if I get
anybody
else. Huh?
I said the diehard team.
Well, yeah, and Jonathan can't. And Jonathan wasn't feeling well today, so he may or may not make it either. Which is, again, like I said, this whole point of this stream is literally, come hang out, enjoy yourself, pop in, pop out, doesn't matter to me. I don't care if you join halfway through the live stream. I don't care if you, cut out 20 minutes in. It doesn't matter because it's the point. It's just like friends. You go to a friend's house, shit comes up, gotta leave. Or you had to go do something, had to join late. That's the whole point. Chill
just
out.
Don't drink and drive.
Well, you can. Eford is actually one of the people that I was trying to get in to come join the live stream. We have to figure out his technology issues. He's working with some older equipment and just got to figure out how to get him. But I actually may have an issue. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Google's getting rid of Hangouts.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, which is what I've been using to do my live streams. So what it might end up being is I may have to switch to a different conference call setup because at the moment, YouTube itself does not have a conference call live feature built in. This was it, and they're getting rid of it. They're still having the live where you get a stream key and you can embed it into into whatever video streaming service you're using, whether it be Open Broadcaster or whatever. But I may have to end up running even more programs just to run this live stream. I may have to be using something like Skype and doing a conference call on Skype and then using Open Broadcaster to broadcast that Skype call to YouTube. I'm hoping that there's going to be a more simpler way of doing that where I only have to use one software because this computer is not necessarily super new either, even though it is an Alienware and still can keep up with modern computers. It's still about a 7 to 8 year old laptop.
Yeah.
So I'm still working with old technology and I don't have the money to build the computer that I had before. That cost me $1,300 to build myself. That's me sourcing all the parts and putting it together.
Yeah.
I don't have that. So you work with what you got, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And I agree. Eford, Alienware is freaking awesome. Like I said, this is a 7 to 8, maybe even 10-year-old laptop, and it still runs just as fast as my girlfriend's brand new laptop that she just got this year. So, and this is still running on Windows 97, I do believe. I can't even upgrade it to Windows 10 or even XP or any of them because it won't take it. Something in the hardware won't accept the new operating system. All right, so I was really hoping Nikolai would be in here by now, but he's not. We've already talked about Matt MPG getting up above 200 subs finally. Oh my God, I pushed so hard for that. And the thing is what I don't get is I don't understand why he has such a low sub count.
I don't know.
He's not out there.
Yeah.
His videos are definitely there. His videos are definitely where they need to be for a big channel. He just doesn't have the exposure, and like I tried getting, it's just I don't understand. I don't understand why he still has so little views. So if you're in the chat and you haven't checked him out, go check out Matt MPG. Awesome channel, and he definitely deserves more attention than he's getting. Favorite car from the 2000s. Just saw that pop up.
It's kind of the same with my Instagram, though. I've noticed, like I'm at like 780s, and I get up to almost 800, and then I have a decline back to like 780s.
Oh, I think I'm stuck at like 454 or something like that. And I just cannot break that 500. I just can't break 500.
I've tried uploading daily. I've tried like going through and subbing to other people, hoping that they'll see that I sub them, they sub me. But
the biggest thing with Instagram is the right tags.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing with Instagram is tagging. I mean, like other things you can like forgo the tagging and you'll have a bunch of organic, just, people running across your stuff. But because Instagram is literally just pictures and there are not a whole lot of words involved, the hashtags mean everything.
That's funny because I've gotten to where I'm at now without even using hashtags.
Well, and that's because you have a very interesting, just imagine if you use tags and your truck showed up in the relatable searches more often.
Yeah.
Just think about how, how much you could have grown if you had tags in those pictures.
Yeah.
Let's go back to let's see. Hamdown said favorite car from the 2000s. No contest. If it's not a Viper, it's a 2002, 2001 Ram Air Trans Am. WS6 Firehawk if I could get one. I don't think there's anything else that could be even come any close. You okay there, Chris?
Well, I'd have to go with the Dodge Ram that they put the Viper motor into.
I have you mean the Daytona? The Daytona truck.
It's the SRT 10.
Okay, that Dodge one. The one that Muscle versus Tuner had.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of that. I mean, I like my trucks lifted.
Yeah, see, I'm the other way. Sporty or lowered, so.
Now, I have a buddy that had the V10 Ram 2500, I think it is. He hated it. It doesn't make, it has a shit ton of power, but it doesn't, at that point, you might as well have a Cummins.
I feel like that's the same kind of thing with the 90s, the SS 454 full-size pickups. Everybody thought 454 it's going to be this monster, but it really kind of flopped.
Well, yeah, but that's 454 in the 90s versus if you were to take that same 454 with today's blocks, a 454 LS style block. Oh my God, that thing would be a monster.
Yeah.
Geez, look what they're doing with, the 6.0. The 6.0 is a 383 stroker.
Yeah.
That's what a 6.0 is, a 383. We think, 6.0, it's a big motor. No, it's not. It's tiny. It's just a 383. It's a small block. Even the one that's in my TA is a 6.6, and that's a 400.
Yeah.
That's why I always I always, I mean, I like what the LS platform can do, but the 5.3, it's a 305.
Yep.
The 5.7 is a 350, and the 6.0 is a 383. They don't have anything bigger than 400 cubic inches. I mean, I know that they have no, they don't even have a 427, do they? I thought the Corvettes or something was running a 427 at one point, the newer ones.
I'm not sure on that. I'm not 100% sure.
There was one with a clear hood center section. I thought that was running a 427.
It might be.
One of the first, I think it was one of the last C6s.
Like a ZO.
It was something.
Yeah.
Well, we have the birthday boy in the house. Nikolai has definitely finally joined. If you are in the chat, please wish Nikolai a happy birthday. Today is his birthday and also St. Patty's Day. I mean, come on, can't get much better than that. Yep, 427 was in the C6. So that was a 427 LS block. So they have made one. Obviously, it's probably not something readily available. But I mean, I would love to see something like the 572 in an LS block.
You'd be going to the moon.
Oh my God, I'd be in heaven. I want that 572 block. I want to put that in a Chevelle. I mean, that's just a beast.
I remember my days of going to the Wildwood Car Show when it was like in its heyday. And I was a teenager and the motors were getting bigger and bigger. And I remember seeing like 472s and 503s, I think, in some of the the Pro Street cars. It was insane.
All right, and I have a correction in the chat. I was wrong. 5.0 is the 305 and the 5.3 is the 327. But still, 327, I mean, geez, when I was growing up, a 327 was tiny.
Yeah.
And 305 was basically, you might as well have
a 6-cylinder.
Yeah, it's just we don't even now 30, the American Bumper Motor said a 302 if you're into Fords. The 302 in the old school Mustangs, it did have a little bit of pep to it. But then again, a Mustang was not a heavy car back in the late 60s.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was one of the lighter muscle cars of that generation as well. Because I'm pretty sure the Camaro and the any of the Dodges were heavier. Dirty 8.0. That's the V10. I'm pretty sure. The V10 Dodge is the 8.0. But like I said, I had a friend that has one. He absolutely hates it. It's too much gas and it doesn't for the amount that you put into gas into that thing versus the amount you get out of it. Like I said, you might as well have a diesel. The diesel's going to get better gas mileage and still get you that power.
Well, it's the same with the Ford, the F-250s that they have the V10 in instead of the diesel.
Geez, Viper motor is a Viper motor, but when it's not in something like a Viper,
yeah,
that's a lot of weight to haul around.
Oh yeah.
Versus Viper. The Viper's not that heavy, so all of that power, you're not wasting a lot of it just getting the car moving. Agreed. Diesel is 5 times the price. There's the Stupid Fast is that sounds really funny saying out loud. Stupid Fast is another one of my local YouTubers around me. Looking to do a collab with him. We were talking to bring up what Jason was saying earlier about doing collabs with other people. He's sitting right around 1,700 subs, which is about where I was a couple months ago. Freaking YouTube purge. But he's got a freaking Fox body Mustang that is pretty quick. and right now I think he's working on a bright green Banshee quad, and it's looking pretty sick. So, and he's right here local to me in Tamaqua, along with Nikolai. He's also local to me. Let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. I'm not being a very good host today. I'm a little distracted. Eford's gonna hit the road. So if you haven't checked out Eford's channel, he does a lot of the Silverados, the C series, the Silverado square bodies. But yeah, Stupefast is another great channel. He will be joining us in some future live streams today. He has a little bit of a family emergency today, so he couldn't join. So I saw you got some bling for your blazer this week.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, I want to see where you're putting it on the truck. I'm not quite sure where.
The one big one that said the local finesse, which is the club that I'm in. The one big one is a window plaque, like a lot of lowrider guys do. The littler one is actually a rear view mirror. It's billet. It's all etched billet, and then on the opposite side is a mirror, so it'll slide right on the windshield.
Burning Rubber Garage, send me a message on one of my social medias, and we'll talk about it. Said he wanted to join in lives. I'm perfectly, you know, as long as I know who somebody is and their character, I don't mind having them on the live stream. Obviously, I would love to have the whole bottom of this live stream bar filled with people just hanging out and chilling, but you know, I'll take, like, you know, it is what it is.
Lonely old me.
Huh?
It said you take lonely old me instead.
Well, I didn't want to make it sound like, you know, I was either like, guys, I'll take what I can get, because that's what it was going to come out of my mouth, but that's not how I wanted it to sound.
It's all good.
You know what I mean? I wanted it, you know,
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I'm grateful for anybody that joins. It's just, you know, and you're actually, I was surprised when you asked, you know, when you were going to join and all that. And the fact that you've been in almost every live stream, including when you're out in the middle of the ocean. You know, that's a dedication, man. You're on vacation. You're not supposed to be sitting here. And but you know what? This is more fun than work anyway.
Yeah.
You know, work is making your, you know, filming your videos, editing it, and putting up. This is easy. I mean, geez, I just turn everything on and sit in front of it, drink a beer, and chill.
Shoot the shit. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? What's one question we haven't asked yet in this live stream, and we're already 40 minutes in?
I haven't grabbed mine. You know what I'm always drinking. Come on now.
What is your beverage of choice today? Well, me, it's St. Pat's Day.
I saw it earlier. I saw you at the
buddies are up here. They're having one as well. You know, so it's all good. I have not had a Guinness in probably 2 years, which is probably even longer than that. Over 3 years, I have not had a Guinness, and that is one of my favorite beers. It's just expensive. You know, it's too expensive to buy and drink regularly. So special occasions, sure. Just the last couple of last little while, I haven't had the ability to go out and just go buy a case of Guinness.
Yeah.
I do agree with Hammerdown. He says, anyone else think the new trucks with the retro two-tone is super badass? Yes, I do. I love the retro paint schemes that they're doing, especially on the Chevys.
Yes.
The Chevy body lines do
accommodate.
Yeah, they complement each other.
Yeah.
It definitely complements the old school graphics. There was one that was like a Sand Raider or something. It was a light tan color, and it had like the dashed colors going diagonally from like the front to the back, right around the cab. Oh, it was gorgeous. Definitely a fan of anything retro. I mean, I definitely grew up in the wrong time period. I so wish that I was coming into a decent amount of money at this time that a lot of these cool cars were coming out. I'm going to send a friend. an invite and maybe he'll join.
Yeah, I like the how they're doing the top and then the middle a different color, and then the bottom is like the same as the top. They like break it up, like kind of like 80s style. I guess it would be with the paint.
Definitely the two-tone. I mean, I even like the two-tone on my 01. Wish it was two different colors. I like the brown, but the silver along the bottom. Honestly, it just gets too dirty too quick. In fact, depending on what kind of mud I go into, sometimes you can't even tell my truck's two-toned.
Yeah.
Because some of the clay that I run through literally almost matches the color of the top half of the truck. And then the whole bottom silver stripe literally just turns mud. I have a picture of it looking like that. You can't even tell the truck is two-toned. It just looks like mud. I have not seen the new Super Duty if it makes it looks like it's from the 80s, because I have not seen Ford put out a truck yet that looks like the old school square bodies. Because I really liked the old school like Windsor 351 Ford trucks. If you remember those, they ran what, up into the early 90s. Those Fords I really liked. No, the 90s weren't too bad, but I think Ford, when they went to that round F-150, oh my God, that thing was hideous. And then they followed it up with that drop. I don't know what to call it, but where the front of the front window drops, you know, it goes down lower, then it comes up and goes back, which is I think what they're running now still. I was not a fan of that truck either. I think after the mid 90s, I did not like the Ford trucks. And of course, the Dodge
is like really, really round.
Yeah, but then the one right after that too, where it had that like you had the mirror and it was down here, and then it jumped up and went back. Had that like dip right by the mirror. I didn't like those either.
They're starting to come back around. Like I like kind of like my body style, the 2012, and then kind of up has gotten. The newer ones have gotten somewhat better than that.
I got wrapping my head around those freaking like C-shaped headlights.
Yeah,
those just weird.
All the headlights are getting tiny on everything.
Well, it's because you don't need that big super bulb anymore. I mean, the reason why they got big before was so you could put down a lot of light downfield. But with today's bulbs, you don't need that big of a light.
Yeah.
Or how to be able to still put out that much light. You don't need it.
No.
It's just a waste of space on the front of the truck. Now, granted, the smaller headlights really look goofy, unless you do like what Dodge did. Like Steve's new truck, the way that they have the headlights on that, it flows with the whole front end of the truck. It doesn't make the headlights look tiny, even though they're not that big.
Yeah.
At least in the pictures that I've seen. I have yet to see Steve's truck up in person. I really like his new Dodge.
He has some issues with it from his video.
I haven't seen that video yet. So, but I mean, if it's like anything else, you know, you pick the worst of the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, there's just stuff you just nitpick about. I mean, unless you absolutely really hate your purchase, it's just ends up being
I think he drives the Range Rover too much. He's getting a little spoiled.
Probably. You need to get his candy ass out into a freaking mud hole or two.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's his backyard. He's out jumping Fords, man. At least he's not jumping a Dodge.
Yeah.
Then again, the Dodge might live longer doing that than the Fords will. I don't know if there's anybody that doesn't like the square body Chevys. I mean, even if you're not a Chevy guy, I don't think you can really hate on a square body Chevy. You know what I mean? I mean, that's like somebody hating on a late 60s Mopar.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a Mopar fan, you can't hate on them. They just had it.
Well, I know the like the late 70s, early 80s full size trucks are starting to bring big money now.
Well, and the thing is any old school truck, after it gets to a certain age, is going to bring a shit ton of money, because what's the one thing that trucks were used for? They were used to beat on. So
Yeah.
even just finding decent ones left will make their prices go up because they've just become rare because they weren't babied.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to find a truck that wasn't babied. I mean, even new ones. You look at ones that are only a couple years old and they look like they're 20 years old just because they're being used.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, to find ones. I mean, geez, Street Speed's new what 90s full size Blazer or whatever it is. To find a truck like that in that condition was just downright. And then to find it in the price that he did. That truck is. I wanted to see him fix that and actually not just like throw money at it and then throw it away when he's done with it because that truck is pretty decent for what it is.
Yeah. It's like my dad had I think it was late '60s C10. It was nice. Like it was in really good condition. He could take it to a car show or cruise night if he wanted to, but he was at Home Depot picking up like drywall or something in it. And one of the guys walked up to him. He's like, "Oh my God, how are you doing that to that truck? That's so disrespectful." And then like my dad looked at his truck. He had a brand new Silverado that was all beat to hell. And my dad's like, "You spent twice as much on that truck and beat the hell out of it than I did on this, and I'm still babying it." Like,
We have the Outlaw that just joined in the chat. Another awesome YouTuber. Definitely a fan of his take no prisoners attitude when his videos. If you've watched his videos, you know exactly what I mean. But I mean, when I grew up, my stepfather had an 85 K5 Blazer. And when he got it, it was somebody had already started tinkering with it. It had an 8-inch suspension lift, had a 2-inch body lift, and it was sitting on 38s. It had when he got it, it had a 396 Chevelle motor in it. And by the time he got rid of it, it had a 454 with the 396 heads on it. So he blew out the bottom end of the 396, and he found a 454 block. And he built the block, and then just rebuilt the heads and threw the 396 heads on it. Well, bam! You instantly got a like 11-to-1 compression. What a 454! The thing's just gonna freaking. I mean, it's not gonna scream real high down the drag strip, but it's a truck.
yeah.
When are you ever going to take that truck up into higher RPMs? You're not. So we basically built that truck to have giant ass balls down low, which is exactly what it did. I mean, that thing could break all 4 tires loose with no problem. I think when he finished, I think he had 44s on it at one point. He had a set of 44s, but he didn't drive the 44s. His main like drive around town tires were 38s because the 44s put it too high up for legal street use in PA.
Yeah.
The 38s you were getting pulled over every other day.
Yeah.
For you to check your bumper height.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely have a love for the square bodies. Blazers, I think my ultimate vehicle though wouldn't be a Blazer. I like the late 80s, early 90s lifted Suburbans. That full-size barn door back Suburbans. I mean, just that, oh my God, they're just so sick when they're lifted.
They look really good laid out too, I have to admit.
I don't like it. No. You know that TikTok meme, I'm not sure if you guys did. I'm probably in the wrong crowd for TikTok, but they have this TikTok meme where somebody being really excited, and then they're just like, no. I mean, I can respect. I mean, obviously, I can respect anybody's builds, but if that was sitting in my driveway, no.
I had a friend that built one like that, the barn door, back doors, 80s, square body Blazer, or not, it was a Suburban. Body dropped, so like the frame was tucked up into the body, and he was laid out on 22-inch wheels. It was insane.
Different strokes for different folks. Hammer down Cummins swapped Excursion. Well, that I would make some Ford guides because Excursion, isn't that a Ford Excursion?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's taking the Power Stroke out and putting the Dodge motor in.
Pissing some Ford guys freaking Cheerios.
Yeah.
Just come and swap everything. I guess Chris couldn't join. I don't know. I sent him the link. Nope. Steve sent me a photo. Wow. Okay, we won't comment on that. Thank you, Steve, for that picture, but I can't share that. I promised I'd be nice. Now, Steve has made no promises. I have. I promised I would be nice and let bygones be bygones.
I know exactly where we're going.
But let's just say that we're hopping in here. We need some more people in here, but you know, like I said, if you Steve, I don't know if you've shared it to people, but if you could share the stream to people, let's see how big we can get it. You can definitely reach a lot more people than I can. And that's exactly the point, man. It's just, you know, you can only be as big as the pool that you are playing in. Yep. Unless somebody takes you out and throws you into a bigger pool, you are stuck playing with the kiddies in your pool.
And don't pee in the pool because it pisses everyone off.
Well, we had that problem in the beginning of the year. Somebody peed in the pool and it pissed us all off.
Exactly. That's why I said it.
My pool's been peed in.
Yep.
But now YouTube peed in my pool today, damn it. I wanted to find I'm Irish. I mean, I am true blood Irish. I have more Irish in me than anything else. And I've been freaking rocking Dropkick Murphys and all those other freaking Irish rock bands. And I wanted to play something. I knew I couldn't play, you know, like Dropkick Murphys in the background or whatever, but I wanted to play something Irish, and could not find a damn lick of freaking Irish music that wouldn't put everybody to fucking sleep. I mean, there was some really nice, you know, like, you know, really nice Irish music, but I was looking for more of the pub style, you know, the rough, rowdy freaking slap back your freaking beer and freaking throw your partner across the fucking table bullshit.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I was pissed. But, you know, fuck you, YouTube, for sitting here and not allowing me to play casual music in my videos, not to make money off of. I'm not sitting here trying to reproduce somebody else's work for money. I just want to be able to have an atmosphere of, you know, a nice musical atmosphere, because copyright music sucks. Copyright-free music just sucks. Somebody else messaging me here? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh. So like I said, if you are in the chat right now and you have not shared this video
or liked it,
please do. I don't know. What are we up to yet here, Chris?
Let me see.
Because I'm blind.
We have 5 likes and no dislikes as of right now. Come on, guys. We need more than 5. Let's go.
People in here right now, as far as I can tell.
There's 9 as of right now.
I love the way a Guinness opens, man. It opens like no other beer. You ever opened a Guinness?
No.
It is not shipped carbonated.
Oh.
It has a nitrous capsule in it.
Oh, wow.
And literally when you pop the top is when it fills the carbonating. It's when it carbonates the beer.
Interesting.
I mean, I know that a lot of people can't get past the fact that it's got a real strong taste to it.
I've drank it. I've never opened, like I've never bought it and opened it myself.
It is one of the smoothest beers you will ever.
Yeah.
I mean, plenty of people have copied it. You got the Black and Tan from Yingling and some other, you know, beers like that. But there's something about a Guinness. It goes down so smooth. It doesn't make you feel bloated. And it's just, after the first one, you don't taste the bitterness anymore. You don't taste that real strong taste to it anymore. You just get nice, full flavor. And then you can just slam them back.
Yeah. That happened to me on the cruise. I found out about White Russians. Oh, boy. White Russians are going down like milk.
There's no sadder place than a pub with no beer. I would agree. You know what? And you know what? This would be so much more happen if we had some good Irish rock to freaking jam out to. But nope, sorry. Can't do it. You're just going to have to play it for yourself.
I'm going to still be on. I'm going to turn off my camera. I got to take care of something real quick.
Okay, go ahead. I will hang out with our buddies here in the chat room.
I'll still be able to talk. I just can't be visual.
Well, it's okay. We can all look at that gorgeous S10 you got. S10 Blazer.
Yes. Thank you. It's amazing.
It is a very wicked paint job. I may not like how low to the ground it is, but the paint job is definitely wicked.
I wish I said I painted it myself or know who did it. I mean, I know who did it now, but I didn't know originally.
Oh, so you bought it like that?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Actually traded for it.
We got Z Outlaw with a Corona with a salt and lime. And a brunette with a banana. Sounds like a good time. See, Firebird says a Guinness is too thick. I don't know. I like my women thick. Let's see. Can't keep the banana. Where's his wrench? Stupid fast. I'm not getting the wrench part. I may just be going over my freaking head. Music is my. You know, I hate shooting car shows and they're fucking playing music in the background. I like not that I like a silent car show, but come on. When you're shooting a car show and then you have some really freaking nice ass car that freaking fires up and you can't get the audio of the freaking car because the music in the background gets all YouTube all in a freaking hissy fit.
Yeah, it's not. DJs are not fun at car shows.
No. The Outlaws. It is a Guinness, a true Irish beer. We're right in Dublin. William Singer. I'm not sure I've seen you in here before.
The name sounds familiar.
A really good song. What'd you say?
I said his name sounds familiar. I think he's been in before.
I'm not sure if I've seen him. I might have.
I've actually been looking into whiskeys. I want to get into doing some whiskeys.
I'm a cheap man. Good old Jack. Can't go wrong with it. If you want something smoother, go with a Gentleman's Jack. It's a little more expensive.
Yeah, I found a new one that just came out recently out of North Carolina. It's called Creek Water. I want to check that out. I can't find it local. I'm going to have to order it. But it's only like...
Most of your good whiskeys either come from Ireland or Scotland or down by Tennessee and North Carolina, South Carolina area.
Yeah, it's not in the wine and spirits around here, so I'm going to have to order. It's like $25 a bottle, I believe.
That's not too bad. How big? Like a bottle like this?
Yeah, about that. It's not as square though. It's more round.
Well, it doesn't matter the shape.
Yeah.
That's about a $20 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. That's about the size.
Wait, do we got a Gear 2 TV in here? Oh, yes, we do. He says Guinness is like 90 weight gear oil, but yes, I love it. But hey, to each their own. Hey, do you know what? I bleed gear oil. I'll drink Guinness all day if I can afford it. But GearTube TV, he's the one that has Guitarmageddon's old Jeep, right? Pretty sure. I think.
Hammer Down just said he has Nick's old Jeep.
Why am I not getting that? Oh wow, I must be delayed a little bit older. Yeah, I followed him. I followed GearTube TV now for I think like 2 years. That Jeep was definitely a hunk of junk when he picked it up. It was so ratty. I didn't even know Nick owned something like that. And then I was watching one of Nick's videos, and he said that he had sold it to this, and that's when I followed him on his channel. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe, and then the way it looks now, it's freaking pretty sweet now. New tie rods are in though. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on your Instagram. I think even Andy Diablo, he commented on it. I think a lot of some of the people that were getting in here because I spammed the shit out of everybody on Instagram before I joined this live. I was like, you know, if I got all these people on Instagram, I might as well spam the crap out of them and try to get them in here because, you know, honestly, this live stream, when it really gets going, I mean, right now we're down to like 7 people, but when we get a good group of people in here, these live streams are fun. I mean, it's more fun the more people we have up here on screen, because when you have all those different personalities bouncing off of each other, it's a lot more fun. Hopefully Hammerdown gets his shop done soon. Like he says, he has a new shop video coming in. He will start joining us, and I guarantee you, getting him up here on screen, the live streams should definitely be lively. I mean, I've talked with Steve numerous times in person. Well, you know, no, the salad bar never likes the meat and potatoes. You know, it always feels left out. So it's just, you know, rabbit food is always jealous of the carnivore. They just are. They can't help it. I know that we should have Matt should be joining us here shortly, though. He said he'd join us right around like, you know, 10:15, 10:20. He had some things to do before that.
Well, yeah. William Singer's the one that had the Beretta we were talking about.
Okay. I got it. Sorry. My memory's screwed. Unless you're in here numerous times, you know, it takes me a bit to catch on.
I definitely want to go down, and I would love to meet with Hammerdown and maybe check out the shop or whatever if you would want.
What, Hammerdown?
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna. I pick up my kid. I have my kid down in the Reading area every Wednesday evening. I'm thinking that maybe one of these nights I'll hit him up on a Wednesday evening if he's not busy and see if we can come down and hang out at the shop. Because I'm always looking for stuff to do with him, and he's met my kid already.
Yeah, it says come on down. I just wanted to put it out there because I know some people are iffy about, you know, knowing where they live or whatever like that. So I didn't want to.
I think at that point it really matters on who you are and how much they know you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's one thing of having one of you guys at my house. If I don't know who you are, but if I know who you are, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, you're not, you know, if I know who you are, most likely you're not going to sit here and steal my shit or shout out my location to the world, which would not be a good thing.
I don't know if you saw on one of Cletus's videos, he actually had to like make it public, like, hey guys, if you find out where our shop is, please do not come here because it's a hazard, because it's like it's a real functioning shop.
Oh, yeah, and it is. And the thing is I mean, I've been to several shops and been allowed out on the shop floor, but you know, I'm not new to shops. You know, I basically grew up in a shop. So, you know, I know where to step, where not to step. You know, obviously, you know, somebody's freaking beating the snot out of a freaking car in a lift. You don't go walking under it like it's freaking, you know, like you're just looking at a freaking nice Picasso painting. You
Yeah,
know,
no.
it's come on. You know, liabilities and everything are always, you know, something you got to think about when you're in an area that is an active work zone, basically.
Yeah.
Just like you wouldn't walk out straight onto a construction site. You don't walk straight into somebody's garage without their permission, because you may not understand the same dangers that they take for granted every day. You know.
Z Outlaw SS is out, so.
All right, see you, the Outlaw. Basic TT converting it to a 5-speed. A friend asked me if I had 2-piece taillights for my. Oh, that was Anubis. He has the 87 GTA. That was a couple streams back, I think. I haven't had him on my stream in a little bit.
What happened to the dude with the Firebird that was on the
Firebird.
stream? Yeah.
He hasn't been joining the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure what he's got going on.
He was a cool dude.
I think that Steve's got that freaking right on that. You don't mind, but, you know, respect is key. And that goes for anything. But the problem is you know, lately with the last couple of generations of peoples, respect has not been the majority thing. I mean, you take the first YouTube call out, people pretty much respected the boundaries of where they could and couldn't be. But that was a smaller knit group of people. And I think a lot of them were race fans. But if you looked at the second YouTube call out, you know, at that point, the whole thing had gotten way bigger, and you had a whole lot of people that were literally just out to get their own little slice of the pie, and they were not respecting this. They weren't respecting the track. They weren't respecting the racers. They weren't respecting safety.
Yeah, because people just worry about themselves.
I know, and you know, the thing is it's also the common respect. You know, if you see somebody filming, if you go to the smaller car shows, you'll see that respect is a lot more granted. If you see somebody filming a car, you don't walk in front of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's just respect like that. But, you know, there was no respect at that second and third call out, none at all. And that's the thing is, when you don't have respect, you ruin a good thing. So, you know, like Cletus probably had a couple people come by and visit his shop, you know, and they were probably respectful. Then word got out, and the people that were showing up probably weren't respectful.
Exactly.
And you know, ruined it for the group of people that were. And I think the same thing happened with Andy at Diablo Formula Racing. He had a couple people calling him here and there to say hi. And then he had just a flood of a bunch of people that weren't respecting the fact that he's trying to run a shop and that it is his place of business, to the point that he had to make an announcement.
Yeah.
You know, hey, don't call my shop and say it was stupid shit, because I'm running a business and I have to stop and answer the phone every single time you guys do that. And the same thing with, you know, like, you know, I couldn't do any work at my shop if I had 50 zillion people at my shop hanging out either. You know, not to mention the liability. If somebody gets hurt on my property, well, now I'm liable.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing is you know, you get like Steve, if he has a bunch of people over at his shop and somebody does something stupid and gets hurt at his property, well, technically he's liable unless they have him sign a waiver before he gets on the property.
So I got my package so I can share my bling.
Oh, you got your bling?
Yeah, I got my bling. Let's see here. I'm trying to switch my camera around.
You got it. Oh, no, you had it right. Do whatever you did. There you go. You're good.
So that's the rear view mirror.
Let's see what the back of it look like. Oh, that's gonna look nice.
Yeah. And then I actually have a steering wheel that matches my rims. And one of my club members, put you down for a second. One of my club members sent me a full billet adapter, so then I can hook the steering wheel up in the Blazer, full billet. We're all about billet, as you can see. So that's the
I'm more
adapter.
I'm more about blacking stuff out.
Yeah. And here is this is the window placard.
Does that go in a side window, in the back window?
You can put it in any. I'm probably going to put it like in the back window of the Blazer where the hatch is.
Right.
Just at shows and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, in regards to the size of my hand, I mean, it's pretty big. So.
Yeah, I can see it. William said that he was here 2 streams ago. He missed the last one. Well, I'm glad to see you here this week. That'd be I'm sorry you missed the last one, but you know, work is work. there's Steve's public service announcement. Well, I might have to do some fundraising to get my my Firebird ready for cruising. It still needs a carburetor. It needs to be rebuilt. It's $450 I don't have. Other than that, I think that's the only big purchase I need to get that car back to be able to be running legal and inspected.
That's a dying art, is carburetor adjusting and rebuilding.
Yes, I can rebuild. I can basic rebuild a carburetor. You know, I did the one that was on my Nova before I put the Edelbrock on it, you know, and it ran just fine. But the problem is that this car is not stock. It's got a, it's bored 30 over. It's got 30 thousandths off the heads, and it's got a Ram Air 3 cam in it. So rebuilding the carburetor back to stock specs isn't going to work for that car.
No.
So the place that I'm sending, I want to send it out to, not only will they re-anodize it and make it look factory new, but they'll also flow bench test it for the for the build that's on my engine now. I might have to talk to Westy, Steve, but like right now I can't afford $450. I can't. But you don't know how badly. I just saw somebody had a gorgeous ass Impala up at the gas station the other day when I was picking up my son, and it really hurts because I haven't driven any of my hot rods in like on a like actually going cruising. I mean, I drove the Trans Am the other day. Well, it was last year already. But that was just toying around, and it had the carburetor off the Nova, which is only a 650. That engine needs like an 850 carb. So needless to say, you got on the gas, it died because it just couldn't flow enough to keep that engine happy. It's enough to get it to idle and putt around, but it's not enough to really, you know, give it the beans. But that's why I'm trying to sell t-shirts and I'm trying to do these live streams and everything else, is because it's the only way for me to raise funds for my toys, you know, because family, you know, regular work funds are for family, you know, it's just what it is. His is a 650 with 425 horsepower. Yeah, but the other thing is how big of the engine that I have. It's not necessarily how much horsepower it's got. Stock, the Pontiac 400s came with like a 750, 800 CF. I think it's an 830 CFM carburetor. Stock. You know, so yeah, I'm running a the motor that's in the TA is a 6.6. But like I said, they come factory from the with like a 830 CFM carb. A 650 carb just is not enough breathing room. And trust me, you rev that engine and immediately it dies. You get one good rev out of it, and then as soon as it comes back to an idle, it dies. And that's a good carburetor. The carburetor that's on it is an Edelbrock 650, and it's a good carb. Ran just fine on the Nova, but it's too small for the TA. But yeah, I mean, a lot of my projects are halted just because of money. I work full-time, but I also pay child support, and that eats up a lot of the available funds for fun stuff.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, like I made like $36,000 last year, and I took home what was it, 12,000? Yeah, my net was like 12,000 last year.
Yeah.
I grossed 36.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're living on a budget at that point. No, I did not get a different Kia. I still have the green. Well, it's actually my girlfriend's green Kia. But she also has a gray Kia as well. HO305 is supposed to have 750, and it doesn't like the 650 out of Rock. 305 should not need a 750. 350, the 350 GM 350s normally run about a 650. That 305 probably only needs about a 600. If I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking that a 305 only needs like a 600 carburetor.
Yeah, considering when I had my Impala, that had a 283, and I was running the smallest I could find. I think it was like a 450 or 500.
Yeah. The thing is the C-Fire, but I think that only needs like a 650 CFM. I mean a 600 CFM. A 750 is way too big for a 305. I mean, unless that thing's making mad horsepower. Which Kia would run the Rio? Well, the gray one would lose to the Rio, and a green one is going to spank its ass. The gray one is a 4-cylinder, and the green one is a V6.
I got a 14 Forte I can throw in the mix.
I don't have rights to race the gray one, but I can race the green.
I'll just tell my wife I'm going to the store quick.
Well, the thing is the gray one doesn't belong to us. It's on loan to us while my truck is down, which has been about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Steve, you're going to have to let me know. We're going to have to set something up because I definitely want to race that Rio. That'd be an awesome collab. I mean, come on. You see people racing Lamborghinis and Camaros and you know, Vipers and Chargers and Challengers. Who races a Rio and a Kia Soul? It's just going to be a fucking hoot. It'd be like watching snails chase across the freaking sidewalk.
We'll take all 3 to Mexico for some tuning test.
I know, right? Oh my God. That's some funny shit.
If that video doesn't get some views, I don't know what will.
I know, right? Well, I mean, and that's part of it. I'm thinking, you know, I mean, obviously you're always looking for ways to collab and to, but it doesn't help if you collab if the video doesn't take off. Hey, man, we got our Mr. 200 subs here. Actually, 200.
What's up?
Last time I looked.
Yeah.
Right before.
Thank you for that, by the way, Sean. I appreciate that, man.
My God, I was so frustrated. I was literally so frustrated that like literally I talked the shit out of you at the beginning of this live stream because I was so frustrated that I could not get you up above 200. I mean, geez, I have how big of a following and I couldn't get you up above 200. It's like,
dude, I was sitting at like 198 for quite a bit.
Yeah. I had you at like 194. I shouted you out and you went up to like 198 and you just sat there. And it was like, come on. And then we shouted you out on Jason and Grant's.
Yeah, that's what did it. That's what really did it. And that was a very fun live stream. I'll definitely hop on that one again.
Oh, they're always fun. I mean, this one is more fun when we get more people to pop in here. We had a lot more people in here earlier. We kind of died for a little bit there a couple minutes ago, but we're picking back up again. What is your beer of choice today on? Well, I shouldn't say beer. What is your beverage of choice today on St. Patty's Day?
Drinking some just nothing fancy. Michelob Ultra tonight.
Well, we know what I'm drinking tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I do have some craft beer in the fridge, but I'm saving that for later.
But it's not Irish.
No.
I'm
not Irish either. So.
All right, GearTube TV is going to sign off on us here. Thank you for stopping in. Hopefully you come back next week. And if I have to, I will spam the shit out of everybody on Instagram again next week. It seemed to work. I don't feel comfortable necessarily spamming the crap out of everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever seen what is his name? He used to be Twizted Nation, and now he's like, I don't know, he's changed his name like 6 times now. But his name is Corey. And oh my God, he spams the crap out of everything to the point that I had to stop following him.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy, but at some point you need to do something to throw yourself in front of a really big bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, sometimes that's the only way you're going to get that bus to stop.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
that's kind of where, like, why I didn't really promote myself that much was I didn't want to be that, oh, please comment, like, subscribe, and like every 5 minutes of my videos, and just try to, I wanted to, I guess, kind of grow more organically than just be that spammy guy. But
when you're small, the sad part is when you're smaller, you have to be that guy.
Yeah.
Because when you get bigger, you don't have to be that guy anymore because you're going to have a pool that it's going to grow on its own.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when you're smaller, you got to be that guy. Hey, look at me over here, because you're this tall while everybody else is this tall.
It's funny you mention that. There was a girl that does kind of like promotional stuff with YouTube. How to make it on YouTube and things like that. One of the things that she said really stuck with me is one of the things you have to come to grips with as a small channel or a new YouTuber is nobody knows who you are. Nobody cares who you are. So why are people going to watch? And that's one thing you have to give them
a reason. And there's several reasons. I mean, like, there are several things, like, if you have something that somebody wants to see, obviously you're going to have natural flock. If you're putting out something different that somebody else isn't already doing, you've got yourself in a smaller pool, but when you're doing everything that everyone else is doing, you put yourself in a really big pool. And the problem is the other thing is when you start trying to do things that other people are already doing, everybody else has that exact same idea as well. So you really throw yourself
like what's going to make you shine over person A, person B who already has 10, 20, 50,000 subs.
Right. And you're already doing that. In fact, people in my comments, if you were to scroll back up through, they were mentioning the fact of your cooking and your beer reviews, because I was pushing the, my end, which would be the automotive edits that you do, and they brought up, oh, that's that guy that does the cooking stuff on his channel as well. And I was like, yeah, and he also does this and this.
That's really cool.
and so that just shows you that your personality and your own personal touch to your YouTube is shining through, which is why I'm really glad that you combined your 2 channels back into one.
Yeah, I am too.
What made you different. That is what made you different, was the fact that you had all of those different things combined.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm all about. I just, when I went to I did see a little bit of growth when I went to just straight cars, but I really wasn't happy with just doing that. You know, it got kind of like, I want to do more stuff.
Yeah, you were like, you know, let me just embrace this one little tiny small snippet of who I am, instead of embracing everything that I am.
Right.
And whenever you have to hide who you are to everyone, you can't grow.
Yeah.
You paint yourself into a box.
Yeah.
You know, and look at any of the other YouTubers. They don't just stick to one thing. You don't, I mean, yeah, Mike is mainly cars, but you notice he doesn't just show his car stuff. You know, he does other stuff, you know, different other things. I mean, mainly he sticks to car stuff because he doesn't really want to bring his personal life into his YouTube channel. But, you know, you have other people that show all kinds of different stuff. Yeah. You look at Alan. I mean, if you've noticed Alan recently with him doing those like abandoned place videos.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's just, he's growing by leaps and bounds compared to what he was.
Oh yeah.
Definitely really proud of him. He's almost caught up to he's what, 744?
Yeah, something like that.
I have all of you guys. You know, I stalk all of your guys' sub counts. Like I'm up to 1219. Yeah, he is at 744. You are sitting at probably still 206.
Yeah, something like
207. There you go. You're up to 207.
Yep, cool.
That's actually not too bad. You have under 10,000 views, but you have 207 subs. What you need to do is we need to increase that view number. You need to start sharing some of your videos out to places. That's like when I started following Goon Squad, they had less than 200,000 subs.
Yeah.
You want to guess what they're at now?
Million yet, or not that high?
Pretty damn fucking close. 895,000.
Wow.
Dude,
they
have more subs than It's Just a Six. They have more subs than Mike. Mike is only at 860 some. 868. They've only been around for like 2 years. They've been around a lot less than Mike has, and they are bigger than Mike already.
Yeah. It's amazing how quickly certain channels can grow. I mean, one of my favorite guys I love to watch, Peter McKinnon, I think he just passed 3 years. He's over 3 million.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just.
But you also got to think about what he does is definitely more. The problem is the more of a niche group you are in, the harder, the quicker you can grow, but the smaller your cap will be.
Yeah.
Because yes, you're in a niche, so you're going to be not fighting as many people. But the problem is you also don't have as many people that are going to be interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, there's a perfect example of that is a guy. His name's also Matt. He's from lives in New Jersey. Massive Beer Reviews, and that's what he does. It's just beer reviews. He films with his iPhone. He's got an awesome backdrop. It's like this huge bookshelf that's just all these different beer bottles, and that's his backdrop. And his videos are exactly the same. He does. I think he does daily reviews, and he's got over 5,000 subs. But like you said, that's a very small group of people that are actually watching YouTube videos about different types of beer. That's a very small group, but for him having that many subs is pretty cool.
I think one of the biggest things, you know, and it's something that I'm kind of commenting on right now. One of the biggest things to growing your YouTube, and you know what, you realize it always seems to be the second half of my live streams happen to be about freaking growing YouTube. Yeah. We're talking about different stuff like that. It's just the subject. It's just the way it goes. But it's because it slows down, and you know the people that get here are more concentrated to what we're talking about. But the thing is one of the things that I think you need to do if you want to grow, and you were kind of doing that over last summer, you need to get yourself surrounded by a bunch of people that are going the same direction you want to go.
Yeah.
It's one thing to make videos by yourself and hang out with, you know, your own little small group. But if you want to grow, you need to be associated with, you know, I mean, you just look at it, Send It Steve. Why did he grow? He grew because of the people that he's hanging out with.
Yeah.
Granted, his content is great, but if he was making that content on his own, he wouldn't be noticed.
No.
Now, granted, I love his content. You know, I love his content. Obviously, I bought the first piece of merch that I bought, other than the one that I bought for my kid from Nick, was his stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the biggest thing you need to do is you need to have friends that are going places. If your friends aren't going places, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are, because actually, honestly, they'll be dragging you down.
Yeah.
If your friends are all spinning their wheels, you're just going to spin your wheels with them. And that is a problem that I have had a lot in my life. Most of my friends have always been at a more disadvantage than I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have been the friend that had more opportunities.
Yeah.
Now, granted, right now, no, it's not. With the child support and all that, I'm not going very far. Not that I'm not trying. It's just I don't have the cash flow to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have the cash flow to play with the big boys.
Yeah.
If I had the cash flow, sure, my Trans Am would be done. It'd be out of the shop. My truck would be done. It'd be out of the shop. I'd be working on the Nova, and it'd be a pretty badass ride.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking 6.0 freaking LS, Nova, 70s Nova with that classic freaking late 70s, early 80s rake.
Yeah.
My God, it would freaking turn heads.
Yeah.
And it's different because it's not your classic late 60s Nova.
Yeah.
So it's going to freaking turn heads. I mean, I turned heads at every car show that I took that thing to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was different. Because it was their dad's Nova they had growing up. You know what I mean? It was their dad's daily driver Nova they had growing up. So they're like, oh, cool. And, and I get all kinds of people talking. You don't get that with a run-of-the-mill Camaro, a run-of-the-mill Nova, a run-of-the-mill Chevelle.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, they're played out.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that are played out now on YouTube. I mean, everything is so saturated. It's really hard to find that one thing that's really going to pop.
Don't buy his what?
You didn't buy merch.
Huh?
You didn't buy his merch, so he's hurt, he said, and then he put laugh out loud joking. Well,
there was a reason why I bought Send It Steve's hoodie, and it wasn't necessarily because of necessarily his channel itself. It was also the slogan "Backyard Build" that he have on it. Because that I related to that.
The first time I saw that, I loved that slogan, "Backyard Built," because like him in his driveway with cars up on blocks and stuff, building a drag car. I thought that was great.
That's the way that I've been. My Nova was completely built on a gravel driveway. I didn't have a shop. I didn't have anything. I had a gravel driveway. Dude, I was changing rod and main bearings on a gravel driveway with gravel chunks this big. Not those little ones. Those little ones are okay. They don't feel too bad on your back. But when you have chunks of rock that are this big, number one, you're not sliding anything around. Number two, your back, you might as well be freaking laying on a bed of nails. In fact, I think that bed of nails would feel better than those rocks. And I sat here and I swapped out all of the rod bearings and the main caps with a freaking butter knife. And the engine lifted up on 2x4s. Literally, I jacked the engine up. I took out the motor mount pins, the bolts, jacked the motor up, shoved 2x4s down in between the clamshell to bring the engine up, took off the timing cover, pulled the pan, and disconnected the torque converter from the flywheel. And I took off the timing chain, and I literally changed everything while in the car, sitting up on jack stands and 2x4s on that ground, because that's what I had to do.
Oh, as far as merch goes, Steve, and if you guys have any stickers, there's my fireplace. I have stickers all the way around it. So if you guys have stickers, I need to get some. I need to add to the collection.
I actually like my newer stickers, but these are the ones that I have printed right now.
I'm getting some that'll be done.
Not this
around
logo, because this is my logo. I like the ones with the flags in the background, but I don't have one with both the cars and the flag in the background. I should do a flag one with the face-off logo. My one with the two cars pointed at each other.
Yeah,
I should put a flag behind that. That'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that at some point I would like to hand deliver this sticker to you, not just mail it to you, because you live close enough. You got to hand deliver this sucker at some point. Same with you,
I
Steve.
definitely want to get together with people more. That was one of my goals that I talked about with Greg a few months back. Was what my goals for this year. I definitely want to get together with people more this year. Not just go to Cars and Coffee, not just do that. Just do a fun vlog with Steve or Send It Steve or you or whoever.
Right.
I don't mind driving.
Well, the problem is my shop isn't that big. So it actually doesn't. Well, you have your garage, but
yeah. Steve, I live down in York County, in between York and Hanover, a town called Spring Grove.
See, Steve wants that one. If I can get it to come in clear, there it goes.
That one's nice.
I think he either wants that one or he wants the one without the flag. I'm not positive yet. I'd like to do some shirts with just the car without the name underneath of it.
Yeah.
And then put the name and the car in the back of it shirt and leave the front very simple. I've got a lot of ideas. I just haven't done them yet.
Yeah, I want to fiddle around with some different. I want to get some business cards made. I got some ideas, and with playing around with Photoshop and that, I've got quite a few ideas. And I wanted to ask Steve in the chat. Steve, do you live in Reading or Ephrata?
He lives near Maple Grove, from what I know.
That's Ephrata area, yeah. Well, in between Reading and Ephrata.
He lives down south further, I do believe, off of Route 10, I think.
Okay.
I don't know his exact address, and I'm not shouting out, where he's at. I'm just saying I know he's down in that area. Because he's made comments about when I've talked about my friend Scott that lives down in that area, because he lives off of, I think, Angelica. And you can literally hear the cars stage and leave every pool down at Maple Grove, because he's up on top of the mountain. He's up the hill from them. So he literally rolls up the front of his house, and you could just sit on his front porch and listen to it. It's freaking awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah, he said he's in Reading.
Yeah, he's near Reading. I know that.
He said he can hear the cars too.
He's close enough to the track. He can hear the cars. So he's not. He's in that general area of. You know where Cash Converters is?
No. The only reason I know Reading is because Reading Hospital actually used to be one of my accounts I serviced.
Yeah.
Right up 222.
Yeah, it would be south of Ephrata. No, Ephrata. No, it would not be as far down as Ephrata.
Correct.
It would be if you're on 222.
Yep.
And halfway.
You get Ephrata first. Yeah.
What is that? What the fuck is that road? But you can take 10. 10 goes down through there. He's got to live somewhere down in that area, just from things that I've acquired.
Yeah, that's with as much as I drive, that's a hop, skip, and a jump. That's nothing.
For me, that's about an hour and 20 minutes from where I live.
Yeah, I'm about an hour from there myself.
Same here.
You're out in Harrisburg, though, aren't you, Chris?
No, I'm Quakertown, right below Allentown.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, I know where you're at, Chris.
Yeah, I know exactly where he's at, because I used to go to the Q Mart all the time as a kid.
Yeah, Q-Mart is like 5 minutes from me.
Even though the Downingtown Farmers Market was better before they
Never
killed
been
it.
to that one.
That was when I was a kid. They used to have an RC track there.
Yeah, I go out to the furthest east I go now is Brandywine Hospital.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, see, I'm out from the Valley Forge, Fraser, Phoenixville area.
Okay.
That's where I grew up.
Gotcha.
So Downingtown, Quakertown, all of that wasn't too far from me.
Yeah, I had friends that went to Downingtown High School and friends that went to Westchester University. So I'm pretty familiar with that area out there.
Chris says he's from Lancaster. There's a really nice restaurant. It looks like a giant tree house. It's attached to a hotel down there in Lancaster, not far from that fish place, that pet place.
Yep, it's Centerville Road.
Yeah, well, that restaurant is freaking awesome.
I go by it all the time because I shop at that giant that's up in that plaza there quite a bit.
Well, I'm telling you, if you're down in that area, go check out that restaurant. Take your old lady down to the restaurant, and you have an old lady, right? Don't you? Yeah, you got kids. I was gonna say you have kids. You have an old lady.
Yep.
Take her down to that restaurant. It's almost like medieval themed. It feels like you're walking into a castle.
Does it have like a Robin Hood theme to it or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But then during the summer they open up the upper deck, which is like dining in a treehouse.
Cool.
It's a really, and they have some. It's really nice.
I'm always looking for new places to eat. So.
But that was one of my. I forget what it was called though. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, I mean, that's what I was trying to say is, the best thing you can do. I mean, it's not even just for growing your YouTube. It's just for growing your own personal life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Finding a group of people that you get along with and hanging out and having good times together. Because if you notice, all of these channels that are getting big, including Steve when he was with and Nick and Mike, and I know they don't all hang out together anymore. But you notice they grew when they were all enjoying hanging out and having fun together.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with, you got Westy and Steve now. You got, and Sen and Steve and all of them. When other people find that you're having fun, it makes it more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I mean, yes, you have to do your own content as well, and you have to be yourself and produce your own stuff. But when you are out enjoying other people, it makes people want to watch. Because you're having fun, and people want to see people having fun. They don't want to see people, be bored and by themselves.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately, I painted myself into a box moving all the way up here to Lehighton. No, not Lehighton, Tamaqua. My shop's in Lehighton.
Yeah.
The problem is there's nobody up here. So it's hard to. I mean, it's an hour and a half for me to get down to Harrisburg. It's probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get down to Lancaster. It's an hour for me to get down to Reading. It's 40 minutes for me to get out to Allentown. So I don't really live close enough to anybody to hang out as every week, like a weeknight thing, or every weekend thing. So it makes it hard to, and I don't know anybody up here. I'm not from up here.
That's what I'm drinking, Steve. Cheap shit. Not the cheapest, but I've moved on from Natty Light.
Does anybody want to guess how much a case of this is running now?
50.
Not quite.
I say about 40.
44.
Yeah. Yeah. I was at Bob's Beer and Soda, which is in Hanover. It's a really nice distributor. They just got Allagash in, which is brewed up in Portland, Maine. That's one of my favorite beers. And they've got cases there. And like your case of craft beer, like from Trogs or Dogfish Head, depending on what it is, going to run you anywhere from 50 to 70.
Yeah, and I can't afford that.
It's expensive.
I splurged You know, this is the first time I splurged. You know what the price of that case of that was the last time that I bought it? And I know how much it was because, again, it's expensive. It's one of those ones that sticks in your head. Do you know how much the case of that was the last time I bought it? $35. It was $35 the last time I bought a case of that.
There's some beer. What is it? All these. The one big thing with beer now that's getting really popular. All these barrel aged beers, and they are expensive as hell. Like I think Dogfish had just released one. I can't even pronounce it. I forget what it is, but like a 4-pack, $37.
If you look at anything that's aged, it's expensive because you got to think about it. You're producing a product, and you're not going to be able to release it, you know, for a year or several years.
Yeah, yeah. So it's sitting there taking up space, not making any money.
You're paying for that.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's not like you're a big company like this who can absorb that cost after a while.
Yeah.
You know, because you're guaranteed sales.
Here, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a beer from the fridge inside. I want to show it to you guys real quick. It's one of my favorite IPAs, but I'll be right back.
Can you go grab my Guinness out of my fridge too while you're at it?
Yeah.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done this one. I'll wait till he comes back to go get my other one. As I said, once you go through the first one, the rest of them go down so smooth.
What are you on 2 now?
Yeah, that was only 2. I had we won't go to my record from last week. I'm not sure if you were you in the stream last week?
No.
Were you in the chat?
A little bit.
Okay. This mug, and I have a bigger mug than this. This mug holds 2 Yinglings.
I know. We figured that out the one week.
Now, it doesn't hold 2 Guinnesses. It doesn't. Guinness is a little bigger. These are 14 ounce. But I guess with the, I don't know, they just don't, I can't fill a regular mug with one of those Guinnesses. It's still some left in the can. Where I know I can fill a full Yingling.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe
show you guys this.
What's that one? I can't see it. Hold on. Let me make it big.
75 minutes IPA.
Yeah, you shared that on your Instagram the other day.
Yep, Dogfish Head. This stuff is awesome. It's ale brewed with maple syrup. 7.5%. So 6-pack of those will do a number on you.
I have a story from back when I was young and stupid. I had this was when I was single and I was living in Stoutsburg. I did have my Nova at this point, but obviously I wasn't driving it. But I had a roommate and we were having fun, and I had a whole case of the bottled Guinness. Not this. I forget what the bottled stuff is. The bottled stuff, is that called is that extra stout? Or
yeah.
it's a bottle.
Steve said Mad Elf. Yeah, Mad Elf and I had a bad night around the holidays. Yep, maple syrup.
My that's my friend Elliot. He might be joining one of our streams at some point. But he's one of my racing buddies from Xbox.
Cool.
He lives up in New York. In fact, he's got a pretty sweet looking Avalanche that I'm really jealous of right now. It's that dark maroon, like Dirty Max Jax's new dually he's got.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, that dually is absolutely freaking gorgeous. I'm not a fan of his white trucks, but that red dually is absolutely beautiful.
See, I actually do like his white truck.
You know what? His webcam is working. Let me see if I can send him a link to the chat. I don't know if he has. Maybe I'll get him to join. The more the merrier, right?
To what Steve said, yeah, Mad Elf is good. Just it was stupid to drink a 6-pack in one sitting because it's 11.5% per bottle.
All right, Elliot. I call him Big E, but Big E, I just sent it to I sent it to your Facebook.
And it's really rich too. It's
but,
I forget what was in it.
Back to my story. So we were sitting around and I was at home, and he dared me to, how many could I drink in an hour? It was how many Guinnesses could I drink in 1 hour?
Oh.
All right. So I started throwing them back, and I got up to, I think 7.
Woo.
7 in 1 hour.
Oh my God.
Now I was fine. Right? Now my house was 2 stories. My house was 2 stories. And for some reason we thought we were going to go up to the 2nd floor. And my house is old enough. It might have been, I think it might have been a cigar house or something, because it had one of those dumb waiters at one point.
Yeah.
But they turned each one of the dumb waiters in the floor into a cubby hole. So my downstairs one had a cubby hole. And then the upstairs they just turned into like a part of a long closet. So I was sitting upstairs, hanging out in that upstairs closet, and we went to go back downstairs to the living room. And let's say I went down those stairs very quickly. But I was on my feet. I did not fall down the stairs. I pulled a Buzz Lightyear. I did not fall. I did not fly. I fell with style. But I made it all the way down to the bottom of the stairs in one piece. But I made it down those stairs a lot faster than I intended to, because all of that beer caught up to me almost all at once.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I said, those Guinnesses go down so smooth that you don't notice.
Yeah. Well, that was a problem with Mad Elf. Was it's so, I think it's ale brewed with like cherries and some other kind of flavoring. I mean, it's perfect for the holidays. It's festive. It's delicious. Goes down smooth. But the dinner I had that night and the Mad Elf did not get along very well. Yeah. That's how my night ended.
I had a lot of nights.
I think my only other good drinking story, besides the one where I almost totaled my Nova, would be it would have been, well, actually no, and then there was the one of me beating the snot out of the kid on the trampoline. The only other good story I have was when I was with my ex and we were living in Stoutsburg. My next door neighbor had some shine. Now, obviously, I've been drinking shine before that, and he didn't know that. So he invited me over, and he thought he was going to get a good gag out of this. He bet me $2 that I couldn't throw back a double shot of straight shine.
Oh.
Not that stuff you have in the jar there, Chris. I mean, like the stuff that I had in this jar.
I don't think I've ever had moonshine, to be honest with you.
Huh?
I don't think I've ever had moonshine, to be honest with you.
Have you ever opened a bottle of ether?
I don't think I've done that either.
How about paint thinner?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you drink it.
Lovely. What shine smells like.
Whew.
The smell of it will kick you on your ass.
Oh.
That's how you can tell you've got good shine versus that stuff that Chris has got there in that bottle.
See in the chat, Breeze Pierce says tequila. I haven't drank tequila since
you ate the worm
incident, Memorial Day 2012-ish.
Did you eat the worm?
No. I was drinking margaritas.
Oh, okay.
So I was drinking margaritas like all day. I started at like 1 in the afternoon.
You didn't start stripping, did you?
No. But okay. I ran out of margarita mix.
It couldn't have been that bad then.
So I was like, all right, well, I'll start drinking Yingling Lager. And I went through almost a 12-pack of that. And
wait, I thought it was supposed to be, how's that saying go? Beer
liquor
before
beer, you're in the clear. Beer before liquor, never been sick or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe you did do it right.
I'll start drinking.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
This is Big E, everybody.
What's up, man?
I only had to go through. Well, I just went into Facebook twice. Internet Explorer, then Chrome. Then I had to go into Chrome, figure out what my Google password is, and here I am.
Yeah. If you've ever seen my live streams where I was doing the Forza racing, he's one of my buddies that was racing with me. I'd like to do those again, but I don't have the computer to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't have an Elgato. Is probably what I should have had.
Yeah.
Steve says he drank some clear whiskey in Kentucky and was pretty much like moonshine.
Steve, clear whiskey out of Kentucky probably was moonshine.
Yeah,
because that's what shine is. Shine is pure whiskey. That's exactly what shine is. I mean, it just has a fancy name because of how they used to have to make it. But like whiskey is like aged versus shine is very raw.
Yeah.
And a hell of a lot stronger.
So what didn't moonshine, wasn't that like all back during Prohibition? They had to like do it at night or something like that?
Yeah, that's it was done up in the woods, up in the mountains, up in North Carolina and Tennessee and Kentucky. And it was made up in the mountains in the stills. And that's why it's not as refined as a good whiskey.
Yeah.
Is because how quickly it had to be made. It had to be made in less than a night. You had to be able to set up the still, run the still, and filter the alcohol out, and break down the still before daylight.
So you wouldn't get caught.
Once daylight hit, you'd see the smoke coming up out of the woods.
Gotcha.
So you had to run the whole process in less than a night.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, if you're a shine drinker, you know, it's something that, you know, it's another reason why I don't drink light alcohol, because it doesn't do much. But anyway, so to continue my story, I went over to my friend's house and he bet me $2. No, he bet me $20. He bet me $20 to down the double shot of shine. Now, again, if you've ever drinking shine, you don't drink it like a shot. You sip it. Because drinking it like a shot is not a very good idea. So even drinking one shot is not a good idea, and he dared me to do double. Now, I knew I could do it, so I threw it back, and he looked at me like he's expecting me to spit it right back out.
Right.
Because that's what the 90% of people's reaction is to spit it right back out, because literally you just drank paint thinner.
Yeah, I'd probably throw up what I had last Christmas if I did that.
But no, I kept it down. I looked at him. I said, "Where's my $20?" He looked at me like I had 6 heads, and I'd taken my grandmother to the prom.
Wow.
And I walked back home. I was like, "Well, thanks. You gave me $20, and all I got out of it was a sore throat." Because it does. It really it makes your throat instantly like phlegm up, because you literally just stripped all of the, you know, it's pure straight alcohol.
Oof.
And it's like, you know, I just threw that back, and all I got out of this was $20. I'm not even freaking drunk. So I go back over and I'm playing Call of Duty, and I got a pretty good kill death ratio going on. And then like 30 minutes later, I'm dying left and right. No idea why. I'm just dying left and right. Can't kill anybody. Can't even freaking go 2 steps without dying. And I go stand up, and it literally felt like my world turned upside down. All of that alcohol hit me at once. 20 minutes later.
Oof.
That's why I drink it now, because then I go to sleep and I sleep really good.
Well, at first, I texted my friend and I said, "It just hit me," and I could hear his whole party going over there, just roaring with laughter. So I'm all the way in my living room, okay, which is the front of my house. To get to his house, I have to go all the way to the other end of my house, which is the kitchen, which is a good 20-30 feet in the other direction. I got to go down a flight of stairs, across the landing, up another flight of stairs into his kitchen. because of the way the houses were set up. We were both on the second floor, and to get up to each other's house, even though that I technically could have walked across the porch and knocked on his bedroom window because our porches are connected.
Mm-hmm.
But for me to get to the front door of his house, I had to go down the landing and up, up the other one. And I did all this shit, and I walked over and I said, "All right, now that you got me fucking drunk, what else do you got to drink?" But his whole point of giving me the double shot is he wanted me to spit it out because he had the lighter sitting there. He was going to light it as I spit it out.
Oh my god!
But I mean, that was one of my favorite, with moonshine stories. That was definitely a few years ago, though.
Yeah, I can't. I'm 41. I can't do that shit now.
Oh, trust me. You've already seen it. I still drink the shit. Yeah, I mean, if you were here last week, you saw. I mean, we were only streaming for an hour, and I don't think, Matt, you were here.
I missed last week. Yeah.
This holds 2 Yinglings. Okay. 2 regular glass Yinglings. In fact, I have a case sitting right here in front of me. I drank 2 of these in that hour.
Oh.
And I was barely feeling it. In fact, I'm going to go grab my other Guinness right now. So if you guys want to keep the live stream going for a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, we could try.
Well, talking about stories, when I was back in the military, I lived in dorms all 4 years I was in. And we, like every weekend, it was a party starting Friday afternoon, and it went till Sunday night. So one night, we're all hanging out at my room. I live on the 3rd floor, and my buddy Lance comes up, and we're all hanging out, we're drinking, and so usually the cops would get called, but this night didn't get called right away. So we're all hanging out, we're having a good time. So my friend Lance goes, "Hey, I'm going to go get my rappelling gear."
Oh, no.
And we're just like, okay, we didn't really think anything of it. And so he comes back with this, like, shoulder full of rope, the belay, the harness and everything. He starts wrapping around the 3rd floor balcony, and he starts, like, long story short, he starts rappelling off the 3rd floor. And then this chick got on, and she did it a couple of times. And then and then someone finally called the cops. I think it was probably from the dorm, right? Because we shared like a courtyard. And so the cops got called, and we always had someone on watch on the parking lot side of the dorms. So they saw the cop cars pull up. They ran around to where we were, because I was in the courtyard side, and they said, "Hey guys, cops are here. All the underage kids, get lost." And so Lance had, strung up all his rope and everything. He's like, "Dude, what am I going to do with this?" I was like, "Just put it under my bed." So I popped the movie on, and we all just kind of sat and chilled and just kind of took, "Oh, hey, officer, what's up?" And none of us got busted. So, but there's a lot of stories in the military.
Isn't there always?
Yeah.
Military is definitely a high octane environment,
to say the least.
So, what's everybody's plans for the near future for their? Well, Elliot, you're just dealing with freaking. You're just dealing with the dealership in your car, aren't you?
Oh yeah, that's a story and then some.
He picked up I mean he's got a, what year is his Avalanche?
Oh, my Avalanche is a model year 2008. It's got the 5.3. I'm not sure which one it is. There's 2 it could have, but it's probably the cast iron 5.3. The 4L60E, which speaks for itself.
Yeah, they're not necessarily the most bulletproof.
I have receipts around here somewhere, probably in this bag, and I ain't reaching into it.
Yeah, you do. It started with something simple, didn't it?
It was something simple. The first time I brought it up there, it was for a check engine light. It was a few weeks after I got it, and it turned out to be the O2 sensor. And my main concern was, won't start does not work when you're throwing an engine code. So I brought it up there, and everything was fine, and they sent me on my way. The next time, well, the next like 3 times, it was because my climate control stopped working, and first time they reprogrammed the module, because everything's got to be computerized in these new cars. First, they reprogrammed the module, and it worked for about another month. Then they reprogrammed it again, I think. If they didn't reprogram it the second time, that's when they asked if I just wanted to get it replaced, and I was like, sure, may as well. That ended up costing myself $300, but one of my dad's friends works up there, so he got me insider pricing, and he covered most of it. I'm trying to like pull the fingers nowhere near in the field of view of the camera. It cost me $300. It was going to be like $1,100, but again, my dad's friend up there insider pricing. Then a few months later, my climate controller starts blowing fuses in the circuit, the HVAC circuit, and it's supposed to be a 10-amp fuse, but eventually it kept blowing fuses, and the guy up there, he what was it? He put a 25-amp fuse in there, and that caused my wiring harness to start burning, pretty much. Driving down the road doing 55, and my friend's in the truck, and all of a sudden, just, you smell that? And all of a sudden, just smoke. Like Cheech and Chong smoke. It was bad. So I'm sitting there on the side of the road. Naturally, I'm pissed because my wiring harness is sitting there literally cooking. And there's not much I can do about it. Well, I was pretty concerned about it actually catching on fire, but luckily it didn't. Luckily. So then the next day I call up there, or sometime in the near future. No, it was on a Friday. I had to wait until Monday to call because they're closed on weekends. But I tell them what happens. Like, yeah, we're gonna get you in here pretty quick because that sounds urgent. Like, yeah. At the end of it, it was 2.5 weeks, almost to the day after I gave them my truck. They finally got the part in, the wiring harness, and got it all replaced. And it ended up costing me another $400, which I think is kind of bullshit because not 2 months before, they replaced the climate control module because they thought that was the issue. And if it keeps blowing fuses, naturally that's not the issue.
No, you got something that's overloading the circuit.
Yeah, and there's no way they didn't know about that. They're probably like, oh, yeah, we can agree to replace this.
I think
the issue.
I think they were just not wanting to replace the problem, and they were hoping that your warranty would run out before they had to get to that.
Well, by the time I actually, it was only a 30-day warranty, and I got it in August, near the end of August, and I think I brought it back there. It was about a month afterwards. So by the time they actually, it was when I was prompted to, asked me to just reprogram it, or said they could reprogram it, and that worked for a little bit, and then that snowball just got bigger and bigger. And after I got the truck back, my dash was rattling like fucking crazy, so I brought it back there last week for that. And it took about an hour. Then immediately after that, I'm not even going to try bringing up the picture because it's a dark picture. It was taken at night and you still can't really see it. But I got like that trim panel that goes around the edge of my instrument cluster. That wasn't lined up right. And I was thinking, it was before I knew that there was like 4 bolts that hold it in on either, well, 2 on either side. So I was thinking, you know, what if I get in an accident and this thing just pops out and gets between the airbag before it goes off or something like that? So I call them up and they take it up there, and the guy literally up there, he just grabs on either side of the instrument cluster, because it's got trim pieces that have my dash vents in it, and just pulls them out, pops them out like, well, I'll say like he's done it before, because he has done it before, because my truck's been up there 3 fucking times. But from the subsequent visits, after paying a combined $700, I didn't have to pay anything, which I guess is one little caveat I could take from that.
Yeah, you were talking about when we first started talking about this problem, about, you know, all of the stuff that you were going to have to pay for because of their screw up. I mean, obviously the wiring harness was
Ship is a screw up.
Yeah, the wiring harness had to have been their fault to begin with, because it didn't originally have that issue.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot something.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out.
All right, see you, Chris.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Catch you next week.
Peace out. After I got it back from them replacing the wiring harness, after that 2.5 weeks, I go to drive away, and of course, they called and said, "No, your truck's ready 5 minutes before they close." So after I get up there, it's a little after the time that they close. I get up there, get my keys, you know, just swipe my card and just give them another $400 that they don't really deserve, if I'm completely honest. Well, their guy up there is the one who put the fuse in the circuit, which eventually led to my wiring harness becoming fried.
Well, yeah, because they overloaded the circuit by putting too big of a fuse.
Well, when it just fucking fuses, that's one thing, but when it doesn't pop in a fuse, it just destroys the wiring harness. That I think that should have been completely on them, but I didn't have my truck for 2.5 weeks. So I was finding rides to work and shit like that, and I was just sick of it. So I just didn't care. Just swiped my card, just went on my way. But I realized as I was driving away, first thing is, my turn signal was, like, saying it was barely audible is an understatement. Like, even if the truck was running, I could barely hear it, even without the radio on. Second thing is, my Sirius XM radio that I paid however much for however many months didn't work at all. So that kind of ticked me off. And the like, you know, if like you leave your keys in the ignition, you open your door, it starts bonging at you.
Yeah.
That was, you could barely hear that either.
Yeah, because that's supposed to play through your stereo.
Yeah.
At least on GM vehicles. That's why you got to buy that special module when you replace your radio.
Yeah. I think there's something with the turn signal too, because after, well, there was 4 wires on a connector with 8 pins, I think it was. It just had to be shifted over.
Right.
I didn't have to pay for that, thank God. And even if I did, I would have told them to stuck it up their ass. But after that, everything worked fine. Turn signal could actually be heard and the whole 9 yards, but it's only a matter of time before I'm going to bring it up there for something else stupid. And well, I can say at least when they had my truck for the wiring harness, they did change my oil too.
Yeah. Matt, have you ever had any dealer horror stories?
Dealer? Well,
New to you horror stories.
Well, we got my girlfriend's dad had bought her daughter a car for basically for Christmas. He gave us some money to go buy her a car. So we have it's an 06. I think it's a Lincoln Zephyr, 4-door, really nice looking car. I mean, brand new. They were like $29,000, but it's had been nothing but problems since we got it. And I'm realizing now. I mean, I've had a company car for a long time, so I don't really buy cars. I have like in 14 years. So, you know, the price was pretty good. It was like $6,500, I think. But it's been problems. I actually had to have, we had it, I think maybe a month, not even a month. And I was going to pick her up because we were teaching her to drive. So I was going to pick her up from school and I was going to let her drive like on the way back. And I'm going up this little incline and all of a sudden the revs like spiked, but then it just started like like there was no power, but the revs like went. So long story short, they ended up having to rebuild the entire transmission.
Oh my God.
So and then we got that fixed, and then we had a pretty bad snowstorm, and with my work schedule, Melanie's work schedule, we couldn't take her out, so it sat for a while. So battery was dead. So jumped it, took it out, and seemed to be okay. Let it sit for like a day. Battery's dead again. So I'm like, so now we're at the point where it's either the battery, but I'm thinking it's the alternator, because I jumped it and then drove it around for quite a while and let it sit just overnight and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I really don't have any dealer horror stories.
No, I got a quick one I can share. One of the guys I work with, the dairy department manager, he had something. He put his car in the ditch, something like that, broke a headlight, took it up to the body shop by the dealership that I was just talking about, because they got their own body shop down the road. They replaced the headlight, and the next day he got pulled over for having headlight out. Like, if that says anything about that dealership.
All right. I have a favor to ask everybody that's in the chat room now. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do, because we are sitting at 13 likes and 5 dislikes. So we have 11 viewers in the chat right now. So if you guys could hit the like button, it'd be greatly appreciated if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, let me double check.
Can I ask what brand that or what kind of minivan that was?
The minivan that we brought down a mile down the road, an entire exhaust system fell out, and we called the dealer, and they said, sorry, it was as is. Oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, got to watch the fine print. Was there warranty on it? Was it sold as is? What was it, man? That's some hard shit, though.
Steve says all the dealers I've dealt with suck ass.
Well, they're dealers, so.
Yeah.
Great caravan.
That's
hey, my stepfather. My stepfather, when I was like 8-9 years old. Oh, this is a '94. He bought it basically brand new, but it was a '94 Dodge Caravan V6. That was a pretty nice van when it was new.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the nicest vehicles that we had as I was growing up. I mean, granted, he had it probably all the way up until 2000 and I'm going to say 2002, 2003. He had it, and he traded it in for something else. But yeah, it was nice.
We had when I first started with my company that I'm with now, it was the old Chrysler Town and Countries, and the problem with those
was the Town and Country. Wasn't it the same thing as the Caravan?
Yeah, pretty much. One was Chrysler, one was Dodge.
Basically
the same body. But the problem with the Chrysler was 18,000 miles, you had to replace the brakes regardless.
Jeez.
And I was actually taking my ex-wife, our daughter, who was very young at the time. We visited some relatives up in New York, going up to Maine. And I actually had the brakes were grinding by the time we got up to New York. And I didn't have that many miles on it. Like I said, right around like 17,000, 18,000, and had to have the brakes replaced. But after that, my company went to Dodge Grand Caravans, and we had all those up until the blue van I have now, which is the Pacifica, which is 2019. But every Caravan I had was fantastic. Absolutely zero problems with all of them.
They are nice. For what they are, they're nice. I mean, they're not a nice vehicle, but for what they are, they're nice.
This Pacifica is, for a minivan, it's freaking sweet. I can't lie. Although, let me ask you guys this, and also to the guys in the chat. What do you got? My van's got all these new bells and whistles, all the new safety features that are coming out now. One feature I absolutely can't stand is the auto stop start. I hate it.
Oh my God. I was driving, where was I driving the other day? But I was driving next to a truck that had that auto stop start. And it freaked me out because it was 2-lane road. It was 2 lanes, and there's a lot of stopped. We were going up through Shoemakersville. I was coming back from, it was last Wednesday. I was coming back from visiting with my kid, and we were coming up through Shoemakersville, and there's stops all the way up through Shoemakersville. And every time we stopped, I heard this car starting next to me. And it was freaky as hell because you just hear the starter. I mean, the thing is if you're stopped and you have to move very quickly, I mean, you have to wait for that engine to fire up before you can even move.
Yeah.
And what if it doesn't fire?
Yeah. And the thing with that is I noticed that when the engine shuts down, you come to a complete stop. You've got the brake fully depressed. The engine shuts off. So, like, I'm looking to pull out, you know, I'm at a T-junction or intersection or whatever, and I'm looking to pull out. And I say, okay, I got a decent amount to pull out. As soon as you let your foot off the brake, the engine starts up, but it also has to go back into gear. And there's a bit of a delay to the point where
if you could cause an accident.
It's noticeable. So,
I mean, the thing is, I'm not to interrupt your story, but I have to every day when I go to work, when I jump onto 183 from what is that? Burnville Robbie Road. It's
yes.
I'm not sure if you know where I'm talking about.
Yep.
So if you're coming off of Burnville, not Burnville Robbie Road, but it's Charlottesville Burnville Road. If you go further, if you go up from Burnville Robbie Road, go through Burnville, and there's a little elementary school or something, you make that turn there to go up to Charlottesville.
Mm-hmm.
I come the other way. I'm coming from Charlottesville to go out to Burnville Robbie Road.
Right.
And you have to be pretty quick getting out there. And also off of Burnville Robbie Road going the other direction too, because there's too much traffic. I'm afraid to join that road with an auto start stop.
Yeah. There's been some, like, there's a setting on the center dash right below the touchscreen. There's a button, a physical button where you can turn that off. As soon as I start the van in the morning, I turn that off because I'm just not dealing with it. But yeah, but there is a setting. Yes, you do have to turn it off every time.
Yeah. Do you know why they have to do that though?
No. Well, I'm thinking it's probably some safety requirement that it has to be.
Emissions requirement, not a safety requirement.
No, it's not a safety requirement. What it is if you have it set up so you turn it off and it stays off, the EPA numbers that, you know, like the miles per gallon and everything,
right,
it has to be calculated with it off. So it's kind of like a marketing thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You got
it's an emissions thing. It's an emissions and thing.
Yeah.
Our cars
but
I
have that Kia with the I have the Kia with the V6. Now it gets up and goes. I'm afraid to pull out of those roads with the other Kia, which has the 4-cylinder. I can imagine if I had to wait for the engine to decide to get up and go to be able to pull out, I would never know how much time to give myself to get up, because, you know, what if the engine takes a little bit longer to get started, or you know, as these vehicles get older, we all know that as vehicles get older, they don't want to start as easy as they did when they were brand new.
Yeah. And now you add all these, you know, sensors, and the more electronics you add to them, the more problems you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
We all forget about the keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't keep these vans longer than 2 years. So, because once I hit 65,000 miles, I get my order form for the new van.
Well, I mean,
so.
That's just like, why don't you see old school exotics?
Because I just watched the Grand Tour where they did James May, or those guys had one had a Countach and one had a Ferrari Testarossa. Beautiful cars, unbelievably beautiful cars, but they were pigs to drive. They were
it's not just that. You got to think about it. Those cars had so much technology and they were so finicky. Okay, what's the first to go? You're not going to see them actually look horrible before they're not drivable. Their electronics and all of their gizmos and gadgets are going to fail first.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see so many of them abandoned.
It's the
because
clutch.
it costs too much to fix.
The clutch is the one thing that really goes.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm just talking about the electronics. Even BMWs and the Aston Martins and all of that have all of those electronics in them. They're so expensive to fix that as soon as they break, people can't fix them.
Well, and you know the guy that I know that has the red Lamborghini and he does the racing, Reese Myers. He was telling me with his Lambo that I mean they're coming down in prices compared to what they used to be. But the thing of it is, it's not just purchasing the car. You have to be able to maintain the car. Like when I talked to him last summer, he just replaced. He has a 2006 Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, and he just replaced the clutch on his, and it was $14,000.
Oh yeah,
just for the clutch.
Do you remember? Did any of you guys watch? Shoot, what's his name? He's got he had the Lamborghini that was wrapped in the purple camouflage.
Doesn't ring a bell.
He just gave away that McLaren. YouTuber, yeah.
That wasn't Strawman.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he had to replace the clutch in his Lamborghini?
No.
And how much he said it cost if he would have went with an actual Lamborghini clutch, which actually would have been a base clutch. He actually paid less going with an upgraded aftermarket clutch.
Yeah.
Which was a better clutch. He paid less for the better clutch aftermarket than he did what he would have paid for actually going with a true Lamborghini clutch.
Yeah.
And don't he also have one of the very few gated transmissions for that car?
I think on this Gallardo he did, yeah.
He still has a Gallardo.
Okay.
He still has that.
I haven't watched him in forever.
I haven't watched him regularly in a while, but I do catch one or two of his videos here and there. His energy sometimes is a little too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I love his videos, but like I said, sometimes his energy isn't just what I'm looking for, because I do tend to follow more of the build style videos than I do I've got an exotic car and I'm going to take you through my life.
I will say this though. I absolutely love Vehicle Virgins Parker's new 600 LT. That thing is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's not wasn't Mike supposed to get one of those?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Mike's. I don't know if Mike's still getting one or not, but
Mike's getting a purple one. I think he has a purple one ordered.
That's what Parker just got. It's a mauvine blue is actually the name of the color. He's got the it's a coupe. It's got the roof scoop, which is like really popular with the six. You could get a 675 LT with the roof scoop. But no, I don't know. I thought Mike was getting a purple one, but I don't know.
From what I've seen, if you've seen the video of when he went down to Florida, because I mean, the problem is whenever he goes on vacation, his videos get all screwed up.
Yeah.
Because he pre-records and then he
banks a whole bunch of videos to upload.
Yeah, which is smart. It's smart because it keeps content flowing, but it screws up your timeline because you never know what order the videos were actually filmed in.
Yeah, Steve, Mike's his 720 is green, but he was talking about. I thought he had a 600 LT on order. The 600 LT is the next step up from the 570.
It's the high performance 570.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like the Camaro SS of the McLaren.
It's the track. It's the track 570 basically.
Yeah. And I do believe he was making it purple, but whatever it is. I do believe I know he has it ordered. I know it is being produced. Whether or not he actually takes ownership of it, ownership. Come on, brain. Ownership of it is a different story, because it depends on whether or not he wants. I mean, he might take delivery of it and drive it around a little bit, but I think that most likely he's never going to take it out of the dealer's name.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Not when he has the 720. I mean,
he's got the 720. He's got the Blazer. He's got all that. Plus, I don't know how soon this. Well, I mean, they haven't even officially revealed the C8 Corvette yet, which he said he's going to get.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to come up with this. I think that the C7 is going to get another year out of it because I think they're going to have to push off the C8.
Yeah.
From everything that I'm seeing, I'm thinking they're going to have to push off the release of the C8 because of all the problems that they're having with it. And I think that the C7 is going to get another year. And, you know, obviously I'm supporting this shirt because I have not been excited about a Corvette since the 1982. And the C7 is absolutely one of the most gorgeous Corvettes I have seen in a very, very long time.
I'd say, and I've said this on many live streams, that the C7 generation is, in my opinion, the best looking since when they changed it in 1983.
Yep, like I said, 1982 was my last. I mean, I would not take the performance of the 1982 Corvette, but I would definitely take the styling.
Yes.
What is that? The C3?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because C4 was 1983 to 96, and then 97 was the C5. 97
I liked Corvettes from 1963 all the way up to 82.
I'll be right back.
I wasn't necessarily not a fan. I wasn't necessarily not a fan of like the C4s. I did like them. I like Jimbo's Corvette. I absolutely, it's a gorgeous car.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's beat, but it's gorgeous. Especially when you have the paint matched center trim. That you know where the Corvettes are top and bottom in the C4.
Yeah.
Where you had that body molding that ran around the middle. When they paint matched that in the late 90s or late 80s, early 90s, absolutely gorgeous. Was it 89 ZR1?
Yeah, 1990 was 90 or 91 was the I forget when the ZR1 was at that point.
That in that dark maroon that they had it in was absolutely, what was it called? Canyon Red, I think, maybe?
Yeah, that ZR1 was ahead of its time.
Gorgeous.
That car was superb.
Night, Chris. And night, Steve. Oh, and Chris isn't leaving. Steve is leaving.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to head out here, Sean. I'm starting to freeze my ass off out here.
Well, it is like 11:30, so I've been on for like 2.5 hours, which is actually an hour and a half longer than I did last week.
Yeah, so, but it was a good time. I'm glad I was able to get on both of them tonight. It was good.
Yep. All right. Well, hopefully we can get you up above 200, up to 250. That's our next goal, right? 250?
Yep, that'll work.
I'd really like to see your channel get out there. You got some really good content, and I think that you are definitely very underrated for where your talent is.
Well, I appreciate that, Sean. That means a lot. I mean, it really does.
Yeah, I've always been a big supporter of your channel. So hopefully we'll actually get to make some videos here again here shortly.
Yeah, I'm waiting for warmer weather, and April is a busy month. I'll just say.
Is it April 22nd?
For
Showers and coffee?
I get about 5 of them I'm going to in April.
I'm just trying to remember the one that I'm going to be able to get to.
Which one?
It should be the first one, the season opener for Lancaster, for Lehigh, I do believe.
Oh, that's the 30th, I believe. That's the last.
No, there's something coming up in the middle of April, towards the end of April, but not the end of April.
I have to look at my. I wrote. I don't have it on my phone, but I wrote it in my book. When Lehigh Valley.
I'll tell you what it is in a second here. I gotta.
Oh no.
I had it marked.
Oh, Chris says 28th.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep, I'll be there because I've yet to be.
Lehigh Valley, 28th.
So,
because I'll be up there with Zach. my little man, my wingman.
Yeah.
So that's probably the first time that I will be out at a car show unless it's something local. But if you come up with something that's somewhere close to the Reading, Allentown area that I can get to, Saturdays are better than Sundays because Sundays I have to worry about getting my kid back home.
Yeah.
Let me know, and I'll see if we can get out there to go to it.
All right.
I'd like to really be able to get my Trans Am on the road and be able to take my car out to shows.
Ow!
So, but Elliot, cool meeting you, dude. And I will see you guys. I'll try to do this every week if I can. Like after Greg's stream, because he sticks to an hour, so try to hop on here and because Mondays have died down for me, so I can stay up pretty late on Sunday. So it's not too bad, but
and then the thing is I don't mind you coming in. Obviously I don't mind. The whole point of this was to have people pop in and pop out. But I got my crew that sticks for the first hour or so, and then gets off, and it's nice to have that fresh group of people coming in.
Yeah.
It keeps the live stream going a little bit longer. Like normally when you guys don't pop in, the stream doesn't last until like about an hour.
Yeah.
And I really like when Alan and all them and Joe come back in too, but I didn't even see Joe in the chat today. Normally he pops in the chat on his way home.
Yeah.
But, I think tonight was a pretty good stream. We had 749 pullbacks, and we're at 2 hours in, and we still have 8 viewers, so it's not too bad.
But
I definitely have to end it soon too because I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, thanks again, Sean.
Yep.
And I'll see you later, guys. Take care.
Hopefully see you next week. So I'm freaking these streams are pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
I just gotta get a good I gotta get a good group of people that come in every week. We normally, it depends. Burning Rubber said he didn't know if I would still be on. We normally stay on as long as I have people in the chat room and I have people other than myself up on video because I'm not very good at talking to myself. That's why I don't do the live streams by myself that often.
Understandable.
Me and Elliot here, we'll spend hours on freaking Xbox and not even think about it. I think right now my game of choice is the what's that hunting game that I play?
The Hunter Call of the Wild.
Yeah, I even enjoy that more than Forza at the moment, only because Forza still has that problem where too many bad drivers end up in the hoppers, and you can't get rid of them. So you end up dealing with too many idiots, and the racing isn't fun. And I don't really like playing in private lobbies.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would be on Forza 7 every night.
Used to be
If they could ever fix that that voting system to be able to keep the hoppers clean.
Yeah.
Great. So who all still here in the chat? If you can sound off, obviously Burning Rubber Garage is still here. It looks like Chris Grandell is still here. We got 9 viewers, so we got some people up here in the chat unless I got a bunch of trolls. It looks like my Dale Bear is trying to freaking jump off the cliff here.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm doing a split.
Well, he's not really. I guess he is. There we go. There. Well, welcome, Chris from bed.
You can see my bed behind me.
I know. I see. No, I can't see it. I can't.
I see what you did there. That's a neat
I'm literally stuck in the corner of my dining room.
Well, I'm stuck in the one corner of my room where there's space.
Yeah.
That wall's probably like 8-ish feet away from me.
Oh no! You gotta keep yourself moved over a little bit, or you're gonna get me demonetized.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
You know, because God forbid there's gun content.
Well, I mean, there's gun channels on YouTube. They just have really stupid, I don't know,
rules that you have to go by. Probably most of them probably have outside sponsors now and don't rely on YouTube ad revenue.
Yeah.
Because the guidelines that they would have to follow to be monetized are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because a lot of the channels that I used to like watching, you know, like FPS Russia and stuff like that, they wouldn't survive today.
Yeah.
If you notice, anytime that Mike has, if you watch Mike's channel, anytime that he does any, or even like Andy, anytime that they do gun content, they have sponsored videos.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way they don't have to worry about being demonetized.
Yeah. I was watching one of Demolition Ranch's videos, or one of his videos, because he's got 3 different channels.
Yeah.
But he was saying that they got a Demolition Ranch channel got a copyright strike for something obscene, like unfathomably obscene, something that wasn't in the video. So he goes and asks about an appeal, and then they take the strike away.
Well, yeah, I've had that problem too. I've had somebody say a copyright strike for a video, for something in my video that didn't belong to the person writing the copyright strike to begin with. And then I appealed it and I got to take it away. But yeah, I mean, anybody in the world can sit here and record a video for copyright, and the thing is whether or not somebody ends up fighting it or not.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna end it here. So if you haven't checked out my my merch page, you can check it out on Teespring. The link is down below. This has helped funding my channel more than AdSense does, because honestly, AdSense at my current rate isn't that great. See you guys next week. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already, and the subscribe and the notification bell so that way you can join us next week. Take care and peace out.